श्री सच्चिदानंद सद्गुरु साईनाथ महाराज की जय। सद्गुरु श्री साईनाथ निशरत बाबू जी की जय। Rose Petals, Volume 3, Chapter 6, The Guru as Active Mirror. Devotee: Guruji, will there come a time when the suffering is less? Guruji: Yes. When you know that something is missing, and even though you are not sure what it is, you find a key to it. You meet a Sadguru who triggers love in you. From that point on, you are happy because at least you have found a key. Then the whole process becomes happy, and happiness becomes the key word, not suffering. If anyone still suffers after having found the key, they don't have the right understanding because they are missing the whole point, the aesthetics of the process. When I call it a process, don't again misunderstand by thinking Guruji initiates a process where there is much toil and suffering and then he brings out something from deep inside. Nonsense. It's not that you are so deep I have to lower a bucket to bring up something. No. When you are face to face with yourself in the presence of the Sadguru, a process of unfoldment begins and qualities which are not so beautiful come into awareness. No one needs to point them out. The Sadguru acts like a mirror, but it is not the mirror that shows you things. You see them in the mirror. Some people have a tendency to see only their ugliness in a mirror, just like some people see only the dark scars on the moon. They look at the moon and think, "Ah, beautiful, but what about those black spots?" Some people have that tendency. They don't look at the moon's beauty and the moonlight. Instead, they see only its black spots. Then there are others who see only beauty reflected, not ugliness. For them, the experience is one of happiness and aesthetic enjoyment. Devotee: But when it comes to ourselves, shouldn't we see the black spots too? Guruji: Yes, you should see them, but you can relate to them differently. Devotee: Isn't knowing ourselves the most valuable thing? Guruji: Yes, try to know yourself. That is what Bhagavan also said. But it's not so easy. I'm trying to make it clear. Don't look for the intrinsic value in objects. Try instead to explore the intrinsic value in the subject, you. That is much more valuable. And in striving to make the subject clear, choose what helps you to know and explore that. It's like looking in a mirror, and the mirror is the Sadguru. What is the intrinsic value of a mirror? It shows you your image fully and clearly so you can improve your appearance any way you like. All those people who stand in front of a mirror don't change their appearance in the same way. One will arrange her hair like this, another like that, according to their individual concepts of beauty. Devotee: We've spent our whole lives forming the habit of looking outward rather than inward. Are we trying now to reverse the process? Guruji: Yes, that is called spirituality. Spiritual endeavor is breaking that habit. Devotee: Do you mean we should make ourselves the object? Guruji: In one way, yes. Both the subject and the object. The subject becomes the object becomes the subject. Devotee: Guruji, how do we change by focusing on the form of the Sadguru? Guruji: I don't call it a change. It's more like a metamorphosis. A bird doesn't become a human being. It's more like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. It's a transformation, an unfolding. Nothing is covered over, everything is uncovered or discovered. Now, everything is covered. Our intrinsic values, our yearnings, everything is covered over. We're removing the cover and discovering something. That's what the endeavor is. And the Sadguru is just like a mirror where you can see your own values more clearly and then strive for what you long for. Just like in ordinary life, to help you remember the things you want to do, you make a to do list. Then, when you need to, you check the list. What is that list? Nobody has given it to you. You are the one who has written it. Your to do list is like your scripture, your 10 commandments. It governs what you do, how you are. The Sadguru is the mirror for your own to do list, and if it is your own list, you fare better. If you try to follow someone else's list, nothing much will happen because it is meaningless to you. Devotee. We need honesty when we make our own to do list, don't we? Guruji. Yes, absolute honesty. Everything is based on that. That is the fundamental requirement. Devotee. When we look in the mirror, what is the mirror actually? Guruji. It is Baba. He is the mirror. If you really want to see yourself, how beautiful or ugly you are, you have to look into the mirror. But we are not looking. What are your needs? What attracts you to Baba? Try to see those qualities and focus on them. Then see whether they're being developed in your heart. Then there will be synchronization. Are we really following our own to do list? That is what's needed. But we're more interested in other people's to do lists, and there comes the problem. Devotee. But won't we always see a distorted image since our ways of looking come from our old habits? Guruji. Yes, but why is this? It's because you are distorted, not the mirror. So try to put yourself in order and make yourself beautiful. That's why you need a mirror. Not simply to know the truth of how you are, but to make yourself better. If you are distorted, the mirror shows your distortion. Because you are distorted, you want to make yourself true, tidy, and beautiful. Not that the mirror will make you beautiful. You have to do that yourself. The mirror only helps you to see what is needed. Devotee. How can we identify what is false in ourselves? Guruji. By wishing the falsity should go. How do you know what is false? When you are in contact with something real. The more you are in contact with the real, the more you'll know your falsity. Otherwise, you won't know it at all. So, a Sadguru like Baba acts as a mirror which reflects what is false in you. And the more we see our falsity, a moment comes when we are fully aware of it and it drops. Or it transforms itself in such a way that it starts acting like something real. This happens automatically. For instance, when you're passing a mirror and look into it, if a hair is out of place, your hand automatically goes up to correct it and you just keep moving. What triggers that sense of reality is a mirror, the presence of a saint that reflects reality. That's what I was saying about satsang, being in the company of the Sat. That will constantly give you the experience of what is real or at least show you what is false. Otherwise, there is no way you can see your falsehood. So again, coming to the same point, there is no other way. Nanya panda vidyate yanyaya. You must be near a magnet to become a magnet. One thing is definite. Baba gives you daily, perpetually, hundreds of incidents to show you where you are, what your capacity is, what your preparedness is. Here there is no mistake. The thing is, we are blind to it. We don't see it. It's not even misjudging. We don't try to judge at all. We don't even consider these things for judgment. We don't allow the case to be tried. Devotee. Please give us an example of these small incidents. Guruji. If I start giving examples, it becomes too personal, which I don't like. You have to see them for yourself. They are only small incidents, not big ones, just very small incidents. Here, no effort is needed to inquire who you are. Baba is always showing you who you are and what you are. The only thing is, we don't see it. Try to see what you are. Look into the mirror. You'll see. Devotee. Why do we refuse to look in the mirror? Guruji. Because we don't like what we see. We have our own mirror which shows us ourselves so beautifully that we don't want to look into a real mirror. Devotee. When you say that Pundi Swami acted as a mirror, what was he reflecting? Guruji. He reflected what he saw in front of him, whether it was your emotion or desire or whatever. Isn't that what a mirror does? Its surface is so smooth, it's as though it doesn't have a surface at all. And a saint is like a mirror. His emotions are so harmonized and refined, it feels as if he doesn't have anything of his own. He is a clear mirror without distortion, and what we see is ourselves. Devotee. You stayed there day and night. Did you ever see him when nobody else was there? Guruji. Sometimes there were long gaps when no one else was there. Devotee. How was he during those gaps when he was not mirroring anybody? Guruji. The same. Then he was my mirror. When I was alone, I only saw myself there. When others were with him, he reflected them also along with me. Devotee. Was there any change in Pundi Swami when more people were there? Guruji. So many people looked into the perfect mirror of Pundi Swami, saw themselves, and went away happily. What appears in front of the mirror doesn't affect the quality of the mirror. If a black object appears in front of the mirror, will the mirror take on the blackness even though it reflects it so well? A perfect mirror won't be affected by it. It can reflect any number of objects. There is no limitation for the mirror. Devotee. But you have to be able to see the mirror also. Will all those people be aware of him as the mirror? Guruji. If you don't see the mirror, there is no question of a Sadguru and disciples. The whole question is about your relation to the mirror. If that's not there, there is no problem. Nothing lost, nothing gained. Devotee. What actually changes when we look into the mirror? Guruji. Nothing changes by simply looking into the mirror. If something is wrong, say some hair is out of place, then we fix it. When it's corrected, the mirror shows the corrected form. By simply standing before the mirror, will the hair correct itself? What you see in the mirror is yourself as you are. Devotee. Are you saying, Guruji, that the mirror is only reflecting our limitations and we have to bring about the changes ourselves? Guruji. It is a limited analogy and no analogy is perfect. In fact, the Sadguru is a mirror which affects changes also by making you aware of what needs to change and helping you to do it. Because he is a living mirror, not an inanimate mirror. Just imagine a living mirror, then you will understand. He not only shows you the error, he can remove the error. Devotee. A magic mirror. Guruji. Magic mirror. Devotee. You said the Guru is an active mirror. I want to ask, what is he mirroring? Guruji. Your own self. Devotee. What does that mean? Guruji. A normal mirror reflects what you are, but an active mirror tries to change you also. That's why I call it active. It's not a passive mirror that simply shows you as you are. If you are ugly, yes, you're ugly. No, it tries to remove your ugliness and makes you clean. An ordinary mirror doesn't do that, but an active mirror will do it. It tries to make you better. That's what I mean by active mirror. Devotee. Why does it do that? What is its motivation for doing that? Guruji. No motivation. It is simply his sport, his play. When the active mirror is trying to rectify you, in fact, he is rectifying himself. From his side, it is simply that, because he doesn't see you as separate. He is simply taking care, trying to help. He feels we are all part of him. So, from his side, he is doing it for himself. Devotee. Is it choiceless? Guruji. It's choiceless. Why he loves us is because he feels we are part of him. A sage is in such a state that when a person approaches him, he becomes one with that person. There is no question of two. So, in his experience, he is reacting to his own self, in fact. When he is speaking with you, it becomes a kind of soliloquy as though he was speaking to himself. So, sometimes your silent questions are answered, your unspoken thoughts are spoken, and a kind of sympathetic love is triggered. All these things happen because of his oneness with us. He is like an active mirror. I think I told you once that if I try to see what metaphor I could use when I look at Baba, how his look feels, it is just like that of a mother when she has given birth and she looks at her child for the first time. How would she look at it? Just imagine. For so long, the child has been a part of the mother's body. It has actually been a part of herself. But now it is separate, another being. But to the mother, at least in her first look of love, it's as though she is looking at her own self. That is the look I see in Baba, and that is how a Sadguru looks at and loves the whole creation as his own self. For the mother, as she starts treating the child as a separate being, that experience fades. It is only temporary. But to a Sadguru, it continues. It doesn't change. It is everlasting. Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj ki jai. Sadguru Shri Sainath Nisharat Babuji ki jai.